Introduction. Most men ignore the cues that women give them throughout their lives, not because they're stupid since they were never instructed. Look, look. Furthermore, the signs are significantly more pronounced for married women, more nuanced, multi-layered, and quiet. She won't admit that she finds you attractive. She won't engage in overt flirtation. She wouldn't beg for attention or send late-night texts. Rather, she will leave a trail of inconspicuous actions. They are so faint that they seem like background static. You know how to pay attention to this. Let them ask you a question, though. Have you ever observed my marital style? When you talk, the woman lingers. How her laughing drags on for too long. She's not lying about the humor, but rather about the subtle clues you might be missing, like the way her eyes soften when you say something meaningful, or the way she instantly enters a universe where she doesn't pretend. That isn't being courteous. It's no accident. That is sentimental. Because a woman's feelings are buried deep by routines of loyalty and the need to do the right thing, yet she wants to be really firm and tardy. It breaks the rules, and it manifests in her tone in the moment, the breaks in between her sentences. It is evident when she inquires about your dreams and listens to you in a way that no one else has. When she brings her up, it becomes apparent. What a subliminal message. Her eyes beg you to speak, husband, but you never do. And it's missed by most males. However, because we're revealing the thief today, I do want subtle cues. If a married lady tries to fight, it's a sign that she's secretly attracted to you. Aunt makes a guess. They're psychological. Perspiration communicates itself. Keep monitoring whether your radio can pick up on the subtle language of family traction, even when it's hidden under cautious smiles and wedding vows. Once you figure out how to read her cues, you won't ever be blind again. In the realm of attraction that exists today, let's be brutally honest for Emma. Disma adheres to the tidy boundaries of romance films or fairy tales. When single individuals are looking at each other across the room, it's not always a boot. Desire can occasionally appear in the most unlikely locations. A woman may occasionally be seen wearing a ring on her finger. A woman with a seemingly full life finds herself attracted to a man who makes her feel something she hasn't in years. Here are some things that the majority of men don't comprehend. Attraction is not canceled by Rhea. It inhibits it, and the more deeply it is buried, the more potently it seeps through subliminal cues that most men overlook. Hey, you can learn to detect those cues with surgical precision. Say males with high awareness. A married woman will never simply declare her interest in you, you see. That would go against everything she has created, the confidence and emotional bond. The persona she adopts gives away that they are teenagers. Instead, she flirts in the background rather than the foreground, gives clues, and uses coded messages. And the fact that she occasionally acts without conscious awareness is what stops this topic from becoming psychologically profound. She starts acting differently. Her subconscious begins to yearn for your presence more than she can even acknowledge to herself, not because she intends it. I hope your jokes make her laugh too much. When you talk, I hope she touches her jewelry. Each of them could be a micro confession, a clue, or a breadcrumb on that path of suppressed emotion and feminine need. Perhaps her eyes glitter during discussion and then drop when someone else walks. Here's the twist, though. If you're only observing her mouth, it's easy to overlook the cues. More truth can be found in her body language, her quiet, the excuses she makes to remain around you, and her reactions when you leave meals than in 1,000 words. And because the manual doesn't react emotionally, this is where stoic awareness enters the picture. The person who sees everything sheodds the secret of stoic awareness, which the manual observes with serene detachment. He senses the change in vitality. Seduction is not the topic of this video. It has nothing to do with manipulation. It takes wisdom and inner fortitude to discern when a woman is subtly requesting an emotional connection, even if society says she shouldn't. In the following moments, we will reveal the 5 profoundly concealed indicators of marriage. When a woman is subtly, emotionally, and even crazily attracted to you, she leaves. If these viewpoints are supported by the myth of female psychology, then there is more to it than just being courteous. This video will help you make sense of things. Remain concentrated. What you're going to discover could permanently alter your perception of every lady that enters your life. The first sign. In tiny bursts, her conduct shifts. A shift is triggered by you. She is powerless to stop a married lady from secretly becoming drawn to you. As soon as you enter the room, the aura around her shifts. Because they are preoccupied with what woman says, most guys overlook this. However, the reality is concealed in the way she adjusts her breathing, changes her weight, touches her wrist, or puts on a jewelry. Wasn't even considering all of them becoming uncontrollably dominant to your macho percenti, which may force them to suddenly become more animated, playful, or, ironically, calmer and more thoughtful. When something beyond friendship intrudes into her emotional realm, it causes a cascade of reactions in her nervous system. Conscious attraction is not what this is. It is a spark of both biology and psychology. She can now switch off even though she didn't intend to. 1 year from now, she might start adjusting her hair while glancing at you out of sight, laughing when you say things that aren't funny at all. She may even appear anxious in your presence, restless, obsessive, or embarrassed over nothing. Performances are not what these are. Her emotional armor allows these arrows to pass through. This is noted by stoic males, not with conceit or ego, but with clarity, as genuine fascination lies in the disturbance of her self-control sign more than the words. Second, she divulges information that is intimate, but not overly so. A married woman is attracted to you, Lean. She is on a psychological roller coaster. She doesn't want to feel like she's going too far, but she does want to be closer. Oris's emotional vulnerability is revealed. What does she do then? She begins to disclose just enough about herself. She talks to you about her past, including her early years, memories, and her favorite films, books, or items that influenced her. She shares a hidden frustration, a passion, or a fear, and then instantly softens it with a chuckle. Or, I'm not sure why I just informed you that Daffy is safe. Her candid revelations are a true test of your ability to connect deeply and lean in without coming across as needy or demanding. She becomes more trusting. Her emotional barriers start to crumble, not because she desires an affair, but rather because her feminine essence yearns to be felt rather than only heard. This type of emotional openness is the epitome of attraction. When a woman shares her emotional world with a man she doesn't feel comfortable with or who doesn't handle the situation with maturity, she won't open up to him. It implies that you've already failed. Entered at the third sign. She defies the rules by making eye contact and then ducks behind them. When a married woman gives you a short glance, turns away, or pretends not to notice you while checking your reflection in a mirror, window, or other object, it's more than just observation when she believes you're not looking. Emotional leakage is that. Her gaze is attempting to convey the weather. A married lady cannot maintain eye contact with words, especially if she is hiding. Develop the habit with other sisters. One of the most obvious unintentional indicators of desire. Even more telling, though, is what occurs right after, whether she laughs tensely, fidgets with her hands, or suddenly becomes really focused on anything. In an attempt to restore emotional control, OSHA is overcorrecting. You can tell it was true that way. Furthermore, she is lowering her defenses if she maintains that look with gentleness, intensity, or humorous challenge. Not simply a glance, but intentionalities. That is a silent invitation to connect, a signal flare. Because desire is most potent when it is unspoken and appreciated, a stoic man never rushes in, lets her eyes speak, and listens without chasing if you have the will to not react emotionally. The fourth symptom is when she subtly compares you to her husband without you noticing. One of the most ignored indicators is when a married lady starts bringing up her husband in conversation. To create contrast, not to erect a wall. You may remark, "My husband enjoys that type of film," but you always have. That's not how he usually listens to me. Avoid discussing these topics at home. These claims have nothing to do with loyalty. Concluding remarks. They are about opening a window and evaluating emotions. Just enough for you to notice, not enough that others won't see through it. She's eager to see. Do you make excuses for her? Something more profound, powerful, and emotionally resolute than what she now possesses. She isn't merely listening to words, either. She is taking in your presence, your ability to make her feel, your ability to maintain space, and your ability to listen without need or judgment. This type of contrast is potent and risky because her desire changes from curiosity to emotional dependence and bonding once she feels emotionally safer with you than the man she sleeps with. Most men wait until it's too late to realize they're building. The fifth person makes up reasons to stay with you and then feels bad about it. This is the quietest and most obvious indication that a married lady who is attracted to you would try to be around you in subtle ways. Perhaps she shows up where you are, begs for assistance with tasks that she could complete on her own, walks more slowly when you're there, or strikes up unnecessary discussions to keep you talking. Her subsequent actions, however, are more telling than her wish to be around you. Her actions. She acts aloof or too formal because she feels guilty about her desire. She will emotionally withdraw herself by treating a reset. Beauty, it's not happening. It is, and the back and forth is already completely hazy. A man who is stoic doesn't take advantage. The sea doesn't provoke or push. You just stay strong, focused, and present because he understands that true power doesn't come from taking what isn't. Your insights and comprehension of what others are reluctant to acknowledge. When a married woman requests your presence and is denied it, it indicates that your feelings are now intertwined with you. And occasionally, that pull is stronger than any tangible reality. The majority of males don't recognize until it's too late. It's not just about you when a married lady exhibits subliminal indicators of attraction. It has to do with what you arouse in her. It concerns a part of her that has been silent for 2 long years, but is still alive, active, and looking for a spark to remind her. She existed before the duties, the routines, and the emotional disaniki that was kept quiet. As a man based on stoicism grows, he transcends temptation. You turn into a mirror that shows her yearning to come back to life as well as her beauty. And that's where all of their power resides, because a person who is attracted to someone who is taken is honest about going too far. It all comes down to connection. In a world that no longer pays attention, it's about feeling understood. It concerns a man who witnesses rather than attempting to acquire, who doesn't entice but observes, who doesn't pursue but remains motionless with strength. She doesn't have to be yours. All you have to do is start acting like the kind of strange guy who makes her wonder why Sheffields are initially attracted to you. And that brother is the epitome of grounded masculinity's obnoxious dominance, living in a way that makes women infer things about you based on your presence rather than your words. It's time to quit playing games like other men if this message awakens something within of you and you begin to see the indicators you used to search for. You were designed to be mediocre. I was you. Look more closely. Talk less. Listen to Radio 2 further. Here's what you're going to do next. Press the subscribe icon, not only out of disdain, but also for clarity. Press the notification bell because the upcoming video may show something that changes the way you view all women going forward. Please leave a comment below. Presence is more important to me than pressure. Declare twice that you are not present. You are here to represent the fear that most men have. Even true men are still missing. These are timeless realities where women seek out what they cannot fully articulate, where you silently and strongly become remembered, and where attention is earned via restraint. See you in the